Welcome to Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Forget the usual career advice today. We're digging into something really interesting from the Retrieving Thoughts blog.
Yeah, this piece is fascinating. It's not just looking back, is it? It's about finding these, hidden pathways to your professional life.
Exactly. We're unpacking the author's own journey, looking at how things like, well, online gaming and making fan content,
Seemingly unrelated stuff.
right, how that actually laid groundwork for, serious career moves like project management.
It sounds surprising, but when you break it down, the connections are definitely there. Let's see what we can pull out of it.
Okay, so the spark for this whole reflection, it seems, was a quiz night.
Uh-huh. A pretty relatable scenario, actually. A teammate just casually dismisses video games.
Yeah, like, oh, that's just games. And the author apparently had this immediate, almost instinctive defense.
Right. Defending gaming is something valuable.
Yeah.
And that really kicks off this whole idea of looking for hidden value in things we might write off as just hobbies.
How many times have we seen that? Skills just dismissed because they weren't learned in an office.
Exactly. It challenges that really narrow view of what counts as experience.
So this defense wasn't just talk. The author dives into their experience with a specific game, Peter Molyneux's The Movies.
I guess the movies,
Yeah.
that mix of running a studio but also actually making the little films inside it.
But here's the thing. They weren't just playing the management sim part. They were deep in the creative mode. Writing scripts, sculpting faces.
Pushing the boundaries of what the game could even do, that's key. It wasn't just passive consumption.
No, it was active creation, driven purely by passion, not some assignment.
And that kind of self-starting initiative, well, that's valuable anywhere, right?
Totally. And this creative energy led them to find this Russian fan forum. The author calls it the beating heart of fan content.
Which sounds pretty intense. And apparently it wasn't just random posts, it was structured.
Yeah, like with 3 different online magazines. One was techie, focusing on the game's engine, pushing limits there. And the other 2 were more like actual magazines, reviewing the movies made in the game, doing interviews with the creators, the Movies Times and the Movies Mania.
Wow. So dedicated fan outlets. And Movies Mania was inspired by a real magazine, Igromania.
Apparently so. And that's the one the author felt drawn to, wanting to create similar content.
Makes sense. You see something cool, you want to be part of it. So how did they get involved?
Started small, proofreading for Movies Manias, just getting a foot in the door.
A classic start. Humble beginnings.
But then it wasn't just proofreading for long. They started suggesting ideas, volunteering for tasks.
Right, showing initiative again.
Then moved on to doing interviews, writing actual articles, and eventually they became the editor-in-chief.
Editor-in-chief of a fan magazine. That's quite a trajectory.
Yeah.
And over what time frame?
Pretty quick, actually, roughly early 2007 to March 2008. So about a year, maybe a bit more.
Okay, that's significant progress in a volunteer setting. And this is where the author makes that big connection, right?
Yes. This is the real aha moment in the post. They draw this direct line.
From proofreading fan articles to leading that magazine.
And parallel that to later proofreading legal contracts and eventually leading a whole studio.
That's a powerful parallel. It makes you think, how many skills are we building in these, let's say, unofficial roles?
Exactly. Running that fan magazine, even unpaid, demanded real skills. You've got deadlines.
In a team of volunteers, which is tricky.
Right. Nurturing collaboration, solving problems when things go wrong, keeping everyone motivated towards a shared goal.
Leading a creative team, essentially. These are all core management skills.
And the author points out they were learning all this before they even knew terms like game producer.
Which is crucial. The practical experience came first, driven by passion, long before the formal labels or training.
Okay, so that's story 1. Passion leading to sort of accidental management skills. Then the blog shifts gears a bit.
Uh-huh. To a different kind of story involving The Witcher 3.
Yeah, this time it's about a side hustle. So actual paid work, leveraging game knowledge.
Right. And the context is quite different.
Yeah.
The author was working, I think, in a court. Low pay, looking for freelance gigs.
On a platform called Legal Work, offering services, well, dual services,
Right.
legal counselor and narrative designer.
Which is an interesting combo in itself.
Definitely. And then they get this freelance task, incredibly vague.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
Basically, write a script for a social ad, target audience, young people struggling to express feelings, but no specific product, no theme, just write something.
Wow. That's a tough brief, a real blank page. Especially, as the author notes, this was pre-LLM, so no AI help back then.
Right. total writer's block potential. But where did the inspiration come from?
Not from advertising examples, apparently.
No, it came from The Witcher 3. Specifically, a collectible note, like a piece of lore found in the game, in Kaer Morhen, I think.
You're kidding. From an in-game item.
Seriously, they took the themes from that bit of game lore, that fictional text,
Okay.
and sort of remixed it, adding their own spin about teenage turmoil, hope, all that stuff the ad needed.
That is a brilliantly unexpected source of inspiration, drawing from game lore for a social ad.
Isn't it? And the client loved it. Quick turnaround, 5-star review.
Fantastic. And that wasn't just a one-off success.
No, the author says this really kick-started their freelance writing, led to more gigs, even writing for the Masha and the Bear spin-off. It actually helped stabilize their income.
Wow. So that second story, it's less about the slow burn of skill development and more about like a sudden spark,
Yeah.
using specific knowledge from a hobby to unlock a direct, paid opportunity.
Yeah, it feels different, but equally important to the main idea.
Definitely illustrates the same core thesis from another angle. It's not just transferable skills, but sometimes transferable knowledge or inspiration.
So the author boils this down to 3 main takeaways. Let's unpack those. First, embrace the chaos.
I think that means don't dismiss those early, messy, unpredictable experiences. They might seem random.
But they're actually where you might be learning really valuable stuff, even if you can't see the career link yet.
Exactly. It's about trusting that process, maybe.
Okay, second takeaway. Find creativity in unexpected corners.
Well, The Witcher 3 story is the poster child for that one, isn't it?
Absolutely. Don't just look in the usual places for ideas. Inspiration can come from anywhere, like a video game's lore for an ad script.
It's about keeping your eyes open, being curious, and connecting dots others might miss.
And the third one, turn passion into purpose.
Yeah, this feels like the thread connecting both stories. The love for the movies fueled the whole forum thing.
Which built skills, and the deep dive into The Witcher 3 sparked that freelance career.
But saying your genuine interests aren't just downtime. They can be the engine for developing skills, finding direction, even creating opportunities.
Okay, so this brings up a question for discussion. We have these 2 great stories from the blog post, the forum management one and the Witcher 3 freelance one. Which one do you think makes a stronger case for this whole idea?
That's interesting. They both make the point well, but maybe in different ways.
I kind of lean towards the Witcher 3 story. It's so direct, game knowledge leads directly to a paid writing gig. It feels very tangible.
I see that. It's got that immediate wow factor, definitely. The link is super clear.
Yeah.
But I might argue the forum story is perhaps more foundational
Oh, so.
because it shows the gradual buildup of those core transferable skills over time. Leadership, teamwork, dealing with deadlines, things that are valuable across many jobs. It's less about one specific spark.
And more about building a versatile skill set through sustained engagement.
Exactly. The Witcher story is amazing for showing how niche knowledge can pay off unexpectedly. But the forum story maybe shows a deeper, broader kind of professional development happening under the radar.
Okay, yeah, I get that. One's like a lightning strike of opportunity. The other's like slowly building a strong foundation. Maybe the point is you need to be open to both.
I think that's it. They're two sides of the same coin. Both demonstrate powerfully how these experiences outside the normal career track shape us professionally.
Right, it's not an either. Both are valid pathways.
Agreed.
So if you want to read the author's full account, the link to the original article on the Retrieving Thoughts blog is right there in the description.
Definitely worth a read.
So wrapping up our deep dive today, what are the big takeaways?
Well, first, really look at your hobbies and passions. Don't underestimate their potential professional value, even if they seem totally unrelated now.
Yeah, and those early experiences, maybe informal things, even unpaid stuff like the forum, they can be packed with crucial skills and insights for your future.
Absolutely. And finally, keep your mind open. Find inspiration, find creative solutions in places you wouldn't normally look, like, a game's lore.
So the question to leave you with is, what unexpected corners of your life, your pastimes, might hold some hidden lessons for your own path?
Definitely something to think about.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks, everyone.